Another function with regards to dates is the ability to pull out of a date what day of the week was it. So for example, the 2nd of January 2009, what day of the week was it? Perhaps you do something on a Friday. You could look at your calendar, but what we can rather do is if we go into the date and time section, and we go a little bit lower down, you'll see there's a function in Excel called WEEKDAY that returns a number from 1 to 7 identifying the day of the week of a date. So when I say OK, you'll see I just pointed the date. And then here you've got to be a little bit careful. It's a return type. So depending on how you want Excel to report, do you want a Sunday to be a 1 and a Saturday a 7? Then you put a 1 there. If you think Monday should be the number 1 and Sunday 7, then you use a 2, and this is the one that we use mostly. If Monday you want to be a 0 and a Sunday a 6, use 3. But we think this is the better way. Monday's a 1. When we say OK, you'll see it returns a 5. We can now copy it down, and what you'll see is each date turns into a day of the week, and we can then use this in other formulas to generate calculations based on the day of the week. Another useful function is the workday function. So for example, if we're given a date and we want to know when the next workday is, either the next day or perhaps in 30 days time, if you've got an invoice that needs to be paid in 30 days. If we go to the function wizard, under the date and time, you'll see there's something here called workday. If I choose workday, you'll see it says give me the start date. I'm going to point over here. How many days do you want to go forward? So for now we're just going to type in a 1, but it could be any number. And are there any holidays you want to exclude? So I'm just going to highlight those, put the dollar signs on. When I say OK, you'll see the 2nd of January we now know is a Friday. It's telling us the next workday is not the 3rd of January because that's a Saturday, or the 4th because that's a Sunday. It's the 5th. So if I copy this down, you'll see it repeats it, and then it starts. On the 5th, the next workday is the 6th. You'll notice over here, if we look at this one, on the 13th of Jan, the next workday is the 14th, but on the 14th, it says the 16th. That's because we've got a holiday on the 15th. This assumes that weekends are Saturdays and Sundays only. So what we have here is another function which is called workday.international, and you'll see it's pretty much the same. Click on the start date, how many days, I'm going to put a 1. What's a weekend? Again, you can decide what it is. So is it a Friday, Saturday is a weekend? Let's pretend we actually in a restaurant business. I'm going to do Monday only. I click tab, I put on my holidays, and now you'll see in this case the next day is a workday, and now the Monday actually is a holiday. The weekNum function pretty much does exactly what it says. Takes a date, tells you what number of week is that within a year. So if I go down here, you'll see something called week number. Returns the week number in the year. When I say OK, all you do is you point at the correct date and you go to return type, and you'll see is a number 1 or 2 that determines the type of return value. Now in this case the function wizard isn't great because it's not telling you what the 1 or 2 means. So let's rather cancel this and capture it here. I can enter the date, and you'll see when I go comma, it tells you what it means. So if we say Sunday, you'll see it tells us it's part of week 1. Notice this is a Friday. So if I go back here and I now say that actually Friday is the first day of the week, and I close it, you'll see it says week 2. And what we can do is copy that down, and you'll see it looks at the date and tells you what week number it is.